All right, are you guys ready? Grab your bikes. Take them off the rack. Yep. Good job. Hi, I'm TJ Tollakson, professional Ironman triathlete, CEO of Dimond Bikes, and today I'm going to talk to you about my involvement in youth triathlon. So I want to start out by saying I did my very first triathlon when I was still 4 years old, just about a week before I turned 5. It was a little tiny triathlon. Again, this is 1985. It was July of 1985, and it was at the Walnut Creek YMCA in West Des Moines, Iowa. And that triathlon was really pretty cool. It was from the width of a 6-lane, 25-yard pool, just the width of it. Ran out the back doors of the facility, hopped on our bikes or tricycles or big wheels, went through a little obstacle course, and then ran from the lower parking lot up to the top of the parking lot, front entrance of the YMCA. That was the finish. Really cool experience. I loved it. It was obviously in that time period where Dave Scott started winning all these Ironman triathlons in Hawaii, making it really big. ESPN's Wide World of Sports was covering these events, so it was cool. We'd had, at that point, the Big Creek Triathlon, which is an Olympic distance triathlon that no longer exists, had started in 1980, so we had a little bit of a triathlon scene. Fast forward, though, that was the only triathlon I did until I had the Iron Kids Triathlon. The Iron Kids was a really cool triathlon event sponsored by Iron Kids Bread, which was a nutrient-enriched white bread made by Colonial, and Colonial had a big bread plant here in Des Moines, so that's why Des Moines was one of the stops on the Iron Kids tour. But some trivia for you. We talked about Lance Armstrong last week. Well, Lance Armstrong was an Iron Kids national runner-up, I believe. I don't know that he actually won the race. I think he lost to Nick Radquich, and Nick went on to become an Olympian in the sport of triathlon in 2000. Those stories right there just go to highlight how important youth involvement in the sport of triathlon is. And it's the reason I'm involved with youth triathlon today, and I really feel it's my duty for the next generation to be involved and give back, so we can get the next Nick Radquich or Doug Freeman, Ben Canute out there and racing and developing them from a young age. So I've got, my oldest son is 7, then I have two daughters, and my older daughter, Drew, is 6. And so because of that, I decided I was going to coach the Little Zippers Triathlon program, which is an intro program for kids who have USAT age of 6 all the way up to 9. But we did these weekly training sessions. We met Monday night from 6 to 7, not a huge time commitment. But we met at Easter Lake on the southeast side of Des Moines. Really nice wide bike trail around the lake. And so we do an open water swim, always somewhere where the kids could touch the bottom, so they never felt like they were at risk of drowning. Obviously practice our transitions a lot. Then we do a bike ride around the entire lake. It's a nice 4 mile on the nose. And then we typically run somewhere between a half mile and a mile to finish practice. And again, we'd really work on the transition, some of the technical details of the sport. But we went over basic bike course etiquette, like how to ride on the trail, riding to the right, passing to your left, notifying people when you're passing them. It's really nice because at Easter Lake, it's definitely a multi-use path. So we just finished the season on Saturday at the Riproar Youth Triathlon in Johnston, Iowa. It is usually the Riproar Championship race. So Michael Zimmerman's the race director. He usually has a series of, I think he was going to put on somewhere between 6 and 8 races this year. And this was the only race that he put on. And it had some unique challenges because of COVID-19. So we did some crazy things. They did basically 3 different races that day. One for the seniors, one for the intermediates, and one for the juniors. And the junior category, again, was 6, 7, and 8-year-olds. Really cool race. Michael does a wonderful job. He's very motivating and inspiring. He has a big pep talk he gives before each race about why do we do hard things, and are you the type of person that does hard things, and what that means for you for the rest of your life. If you're the type of kid that gets up on a Saturday morning to go do something that other people think is really hard, then you're setting yourself up for a successful life.
That you're going to do something hard today, and then this school year when stuff gets hard, you're going to be able to do hard things because you're going to say, I've done this before. And then next year when you're going through stuff, you're going to say, I do hard things. I do hard things. I can do this. And for the rest of your life, you're going to remember that that badge, a triathlete that you wear, that means that you're unstoppable. That means you're invincible. You can do everything because you do hard things. You're those people. So we're going to stand up and we're going to do our creed together. And if you've done it before, you're going to help us out. We say this. We say, in this tribe. Say it with me. In this tribe. We say we race together. These are my people. And this is our day. You guys are awesome.
Michael's message really resonates with me, and it's a really cool opportunity for me to be able to give back to the triathlon community and coach these little kids. The last thing that I'll talk about is I did probably have the worst accident in a sporting event that I've had. On one of our last practices, I was running on the bike path. We were almost done, a 1/10 of a mile to go, and I stepped on Drew's heel, my daughter, and fell into her. She did a somersault and landed on her back, broke her collarbone. That was just 2 weeks ago today. So she's healing, she's in good spirits, but she was unable to compete in that Riproar triathlon, so it was just my son Theo who did the race, but he had a blast. I had several other kids in the program that did it, and I look forward to being able to grow that program over the next several years and introduce more kids to the sport of triathlon at a young age. And do it and you have a positive experience, you never know what the future will hold for the sport. And so this is a sport that I love and hold near and dear to my heart, and it's amazing to be able to share it with my children, but be able to guide other people's children in the sport as well. So I feel very blessed that I had this opportunity. That was my role as head coach of the Little Zippers program, and I look forward to giving back some more in the next few years.